Good afternoon all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, January 26th. We are looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And we turn into a B shape. We gap to an all-time high. Close the gap in A period. Never see the opening again. And then basically just trade in and out of yesterday's range. Back and forth. We really stayed below the previous all-time high a good part of the day. They tried again later in IJ, L&M, never got it, and end 10 wide with a B shape. The other indices, a little more interesting. We have a lot coming this week also. So here's the Russell. Russell also a B shape. They have a very prominent afternoon rally high. They have 10 wide, and they have an inside day. So very nice setup going into tomorrow for the IWM. Qs exploding. Well, AMD and Microsoft are coming out after the bell. So I am assuming they came out with some pretty good earnings. I didn't realize they were going to come out that quick. But prior to that happening, we had an inside day in the triple Qs. They end 12 wide, 12 out of 13. The only time frame they didn't get 13 wide was I. It was pretty much a short, fat, squat profile until you see what's happening right now. So once again, they made an all-time high yesterday. Well, their all-time high is now in the overnight, right off the bat for the triple Qs, as they explode out of the gate with whatever earnings came out. SPY, NES. So I had a good day today. Didn't do a lot of trades. Actually held some trades pretty long for me. Turned out to be a good day. Again, we gap higher, don't hold it. End up with overlapping a higher value. And we end 10 wide. So, what my trades today? A period. A period turned out to be a pretty good trade, even though we filled the gap. So I said to the room early, when we were around the opening, I said, if we get below the opening, we're going to extend this, and I don't doubt we close the gap. Took a small call play to start below the opening, added again, and then I added once we closed the gap, I added decent size between B's high and M's high to see if we were going to pop out of it, at least initially. And we did, and the bulk of my position was in there, and we got back above B's high, took them off. I wasn't looking for the opening. In fact, I said the opening is going to be an issue. Took them off, turned out to be a very good trade. It was a 384 calls. Walked the room through exactly why I was doing it, and it turned out to be a very, very profitable trade. Then in B period, I took a short, the 386s, when we took out A's low. We started one time framing down, never saw the opening, and that turned out to be a good one. Those were the 386 puts. Now my next trade wasn't until E. We made a new low in E. Came back. I said, if we don't get single prints, I'm looking to fade the lows. And that's what I did. I took the 382 calls. And I started the game of holding them and adding to them. So F period couldn't take out E's low. So when F went up, took some off. F came back down. I put some on. I did this trade. I held this trade. Started it in E. Held it through H. Now, it wasn't big. And my add-ons I kept taking off when it went back on, up, and then I would add on. And then in H period, we finally popped G's high. I'm like, well, now I'm looking for probably half back. Didn't get all the way to half back. At that point, I took it off because then I was looking for an afternoon rally high. So in I started a short play. I said I would be worried if we get acceptance above value high, yesterday's high, and more importantly, C and D's high. Well, we never did. We never did. And I added on to that short in J. And in fact, J period, it didn't take out I's high yet. And then I added decent size. I was playing with about 50 back and forth. It came in, took some off, went back up, put some on. And then when we finally broke, I got a nice little flush on the last 30 that I was holding, and turned out to be a very good trade. So I held a long from E through H, and I held a short from I through J period. And then I actually took one other put play in M When M came down and then went back up to park, I took, I'm like, well, why am I short? And I knew why I was short, because I thought we were going to fill out the bottom of the B. But I took it off for 2 pennies, and it came in and would have made 60 cents on them. But anyway, it turned out to be a good day, good trades all around. I mean, the A trade paid me handsomely, the E trade paid me, and the I short and J short paid me probably the best on the day. All right, destinations for tomorrow. Again, far and wide apart. We actually went out with a price probe. Now, I know the ES didn't make a new low, but M took out E's low by 2 ticks. So believe it or not, I'm just going to use E's low, although right now, look at this rejection. 383.56 for the price probe. Then, 10 wide, 384.53, which was H's high. Then we have today's all-time high of 385.85. For the downside, we don't have anything to today's low of 383.54. Afternoon pullback low from yesterday, L's low of 382.43, and then nothing to 378.46 daily low. So you can bet your bottom dollar between the Fed, between tech earnings, between destinations being far and wide apart, we're going to get some really good volatility over the next 3 days. We have the Fed tomorrow. We have Tesla, Facebook, and Apple after the close. And we have the last day of the month on Friday. So be prepared for some volatility. And then on the charts, I'm only going to show you the daily, because all we did, the way we stretched the 3-day balance to the low, to the downside yesterday, to become a 4-day balance, well, all we did was stretch the upside of the 4-day balance to make it a 5-day balance, and we closed inside of it. If we had closed above it, I would have called it up. But we closed inside of it. It's a 5-day balance. It's right now just under $7.50. That's not a big range, especially with all these events that are going to happen between now and the end of the week. So I fully expect this 5-day balance to get breached on one, if not both sides, over the next 3 days. Hope you had a great day trading. Have a great evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.